Hello, all. Good morning. I hope that you people are in good health, safe, and most probably right now enjoying the lockdown, or you can say the now prohibitions are less. But this is the time where we should be more careful. As you know that cases are increasing day by day, and so be more careful and enjoy the period with your parents because rarest of the chances we get time to stay at home. And let's start with this new topic, which is independent directors. In previous video we discussed that independent directors is topic of directors, but then we will discuss, or I will discuss that in separate video separately from directors topic, because independent director is not so big, so large topic, but then the definition of the topic is very large, or the definition of the term independent director is very large and technical. In this video it will take very less time, but most of the time we are going to dedicate is towards the definition of the term independent directors, or what are the qualifications of independent directors. So without wasting time, let's start. See, independent director is why. First of all, let's discuss why a company need independent director. Independent director comes, or independent director is because they are related to term corporate governance. They are related to term, or they help in unbiased management of a company. The name in the term itself explain what the term what do you mean by independent director. Director which is independent of the company, that is, in short, you can say a director who is not related to a company. Okay, the term independent means independent, he is independent. That how a person can be independent? A person can be independent when his views or his opinions are independent, or not based or not biased towards something. So independent director is a director who is independent or does not have any relation with the company, relation of such a manner which can make his opinion biased. So why a company need to introduce or appoint independent director? Company is managed by shareholders, you know this, and shareholders are huge in number. Not one, two. We are not talking about 1, 2, 3 shareholders. We are talking about lakhs of shareholders. Okay, so company, all the affairs of the company should be managed for the benefit of the shareholders, not for the benefit of the directors. Now, shareholder not being part of management of the company, not involved in management of the company, how he or she will analyze whether the company is working for his benefit, her benefit, or not. And it's very difficult for them because all they are also the people who have just invested the money. Maybe they do not have any business sense, maybe they do not have any financial literacy. They just invested their money in a dream or in an idea. Now they want that idea should work properly, an idea should progress. So independent director, when independent director is there in board of directors, independent director will see whether the company is working in a biased manner or not. Biased manner means company should not work against the business norms, or company should not work in a way in which the going concern concept of the company is getting affected in long run. Company should not work in a way in which company can incur losses. So the presence of independent director cannot remove these effects, these ill effects, or cannot assure that company will always be in profit. But yeah, it can give a sense of trust and a sense that everything was conducted properly. It's like in a show or in a competition, judges are there Why judges are always independent? Because it brings independency of judges, brings credibility to the system. In the same sense, presence of independent directors in board of directors of a company will bring credibility to the management of the company, to ideas of management of the company, and to the practices management is being following for carrying out day-to-day activities of the company, or for carrying out business decisions for the company. That's why the presence of independent director has been stressed upon so much in New Companies Act 2013, in other laws across India, in various countries also, on almost all developed countries. And it's a very interesting and a good concept towards which our law is going right now. It is not still so much exploited in India, but yeah, we are working towards it. So let's start. Independent director means, in simplest form, independent director means a person who is appointed as director and does not have any relation with the company. Now this any relation definition term, any relation, is very large or extensive, and we have to discuss what this any relation is. Before discussing that, we will discuss in what are the companies in which independent director is important to be appointed or compulsory to be appointed, so that it becomes easy for you people that independent director is in which company it will be appointed, and how many independent directors company should have. See, the point is, every listed public company, so public company which is listed, where it is listed in stock exchanges across India. Okay, you know this. A public company which is listed in stock exchanges across India shall have at least 1/3 of total number of directors as independent directors, and central government may prescribe minimum number of independent directors in case of any class or classes of companies that is different. Now this is the limit as per Companies Act 2013, which means this limit, what does this limit implies? Limit implies, if board of directors in a company have 15 directors, total in 15, then out of these 15, 1/3, that is 1/3 of 15, which will be 5. Out of these 15, 5 directors should be independent director. So this particular company should appoint 5 directors as independent director in its board of directors. It's simple. Now the following class or classes of companies shall have at least 2 directors as independent directors. So this first point is for all listed public companies, irrespective of their turnover, irrespective of their total paid up capital, irrespective of outstanding loans on those companies. These 3 limits are for specific companies which fulfill these criteria, and these companies, irrespective of board size, should appoint at least 2 directors as independent director. Which are these companies? Public company with paid up share capital of 10 crores, public company with paid up share capital of turnover of 100 crores, and public company which have outstanding loans, debenture, deposit exceeding 50 crore rupees. So if a public company is there, now we can see one thing is clear, that independent director is concept applicable in public companies. In private companies, independent director concept is not applicable at all. Now public company can be a listed company or an unlisted company. Okay, if it is a listed company, then out of all the board of directors, 1/3 shall be independent directors. Again, if it is not listed or an unlisted public company, but which satisfies any of the 3 conditions, which are the conditions? That share capital is greater than 10 crore rupees, okay, then and turnover is net sales, turnover is greater than 100 crore rupees, and last is loans or any kind of loan outstanding, any kind of liability on company which company has to pay is greater than 50 crore rupees. You can make this a chart, make this like a like this chart like this in your notes, which will be easy to grasp. So any public companies which fulfill any of these limits, either A, B or C, that company should appoint at least 2 directors as independent directors. Now consider this company, the example we took earlier in the same slide, this company is not listed company, it is unlisted public company. But how many board of directors, how many directors are there? 15. So this company will not go under this category, listed category. This company will go under this company will not fall under listed category because company is unlisted. So this company will fall under any of these categories. Now I say the turnover of this company is 100 crores, more than 100 crores. So what this company need to do is, out of these 15, this company should appoint at least 2 independent directors. It's not necessary that it fulfills the norm of 1/3 total independent directors. No, because this company is going to fall under this category, it can appoint only 2 independent directors and can work easily. And private company concept is not applicable. Please understand, in any private company, irrespective whether it is listed, not listed, irrespective of its turnover, paid up capital and borrowings on that company need not appoint independent director. And these are minimum requirements to appoint independent director. Company can appoint more than these, it's no issue. There are companies in which out of 15, 14 are independent directors. That's the lookout of the company, what company wants to do. Simple. Now let's move to next topic. Next topic is definition of independent director. The definition is quite lengthy. See, this complete is the definition of independent director. It starts here and will end here, but we'll do it one by one. And these are also qualifications of independent director. If someone asks what are the qualification of independent director, these are against the qualification, or you can say disqualification of independent director, of a person which can be appointed as independent director. So let's start. First, in relation to a company means a director other than MD or WTD, that is MD or managing director or WTD whole-time director or nominee director. Independent director cannot be any one of these. Simple. Next, a person who is a person of integrity, possesses relevant expertise and experience. That means independent director should have relevant expertise and experience, and it's common sense. Which company will appoint a person without any expertise or experience as independent director? No one will employ them. So independent directors should have a particular expertise in some areas. At the same time, he should have necessary experience to carry on that business or to take good judgments, make good judgments. Next is a person who is or was not is important, a promoter of company holding subsidiary and associate company. So a person who was promoter of company or any related company cannot be appointed as independent director. Always remember what I have told is independent director means no relation with the company. You know what promoter is? So a person who is a promoter of a company cannot be appointed as independent director in that company. Second, person who is not related to promoters or directors of the company. A person who is also not related, he himself cannot be act as director, as well as if his relatives are directors or promoters, he cannot act as independent director in that company. For example, my brother is working as director in some company, okay, my brother is working. Now in that company I cannot be appointed as independent director because I am related to director of that company. Next, these are 2 points, A and B. Now C point. who has or had no pecuniary is important or economic, with company relationship with the company, its holding subsidiary associate company, their promoter director during two immediately preceding financial year or during current financial year. So a person who did not have or who don't have or has any kind of pecuniary relationship with the company during preceding two financial years and right now current year. So pecuniary we will not go into details what pecuniary and pecuniary is not. Simply means it's an economic transaction, a transaction which is related to money, and that person has that transaction with the company. That particular person cannot be appointed as independent director. Next, none of whose relative has or had pecuniary relationship or transaction with the company, its holding subsidiary associate company, their promoters directors amounting to 2% or more of its gross turnover GTI and 50 lakh rupees whichever is lower. Now a person in C point we discussed that person he himself cannot have pecuniary relationship with the company. At the same time, his relatives can also should not also have any pecuniary relationship with this company. And the size here in D point, the size or the limit of that relationship is explained. That is, they are involved in the transaction which is more than 2% of gross turnover of the company or 50 lakh rupees whichever is less. Let's say your relative enter into a contract with the company and the total cost of the company is 100 crores. Cost of the contract of that contract in which your relative has entered with the company is 100 crores. This company, the total turnover of this company for this year is only 1000 crores. And out of that 1000 crores, 100 crore is the company is doing business worth rupees 100 crore with a relative. This 100 crore is more than 2% of gross turnover, which is 1000 crores. It is almost 10%. Your relative has a pecuniary relationship with this company, which crosses the limit mentioned in point D. Hence, you cannot be appointed, company cannot appoint you as independent director in this company. I think it's simple and simplified. Okay. Next is E point. Who neither himself nor any of his relative hold or has held position of KMP, key managerial personnel, or has been employee of the company holding subsidiary any 3 financial year. It's again very simple. If you are occupying a position of employee in a company, you are not independent of that company. You are dependent on that company. You are employee of that company. You cannot take decisions which are against the company or which one can say are unbiased. That's why if a person himself or any of his relative hold position of KMP, key managerial personnel, key managerial personnel is CS, CFO, CEO, MD is managing director, WTD whole time director. These are the categories of persons which fall under the definition of key managerial personnel, in short form KMP. Company secretary, chief financial officer, chief executive officer, managing director and WTD whole time director. If you or any of your relative is occupying a place like this, a position like this in any company, then you or your relative cannot be appointed as independent director in that company. Next, is or has been an employer, proprietor or partner in any of the 3 financial year immediately preceding financial year in which he is proposed to be appointed. So if you or your relative is employee, proprietor or partner of whom, it's given in A and B, of a firm of auditors, company secretary in practice or cost of the company or holding subsidiary. Okay. So if you are employer, proprietor or partner in a firm which is acting as auditor of the company in which you want to get appointed independent director, you cannot act as that independent director, or You are employee, proprietor, partner of any legal consulting firm that has a transaction with the company holding associate company amounting to 10% or more or gross turnover of such firm. You cannot be appointed. Now I will explain this with an example. For example, your company has appointed Ram Associates as auditors. Ram Associate, a firm of chartered accountants, as auditor. Okay, and your brother is a chartered accountant and he is a partner with this company, with this firm of chartered accountants. Now you fulfill sorry, you fulfill this condition of point E, that is, neither himself nor any of his relative, your brother is a relative, he is partner in auditor in firm of chartered accountants or auditor which is working with the company. So you, as well as your brother, as well as even your parents, cannot work as independent director in that company. Simple. Second point, let's go for point B. For example, your brother is a lawyer, okay, and he is working in, again he is working in Ram Associates as a lawyer, as a corporate lawyer, and total income of Ram Associates in this particular year is 10 crore rupees. Ram Associates, sorry. And out of these 10 crore rupees, 1.5 crore rupees fee, legal fees your company has paid to them. Maybe because of some special cases were going on, and this company has paid 1.5 crore rupees to Ram Associates. Total turnover of Ram Associates for this year is 10 crores, and your brother is a lawyer in Ram Associates. Now see, the more than 10% of 10 crores to Ram Associates is being paid by the company. So in this case, point B is fulfilled. Now you or your brother or your parents cannot act as independent director in this company, because the company is acting as that Ram Associate is acting as a legal firm or consulting firm of the company, and more than 10% of amount of this firm gross over turnover of this amount has been given by your company to Ram Associates. I think it is more clear now. So let's go to next point, which is E point, which is subpart third of E. Holds together with his relative 2% or more of total voting power of the company. It's simple that the person himself, you or with your relative, you hold more than 2% of total voting power. Is chief executive officer, director, by whatever name called of any NPO that received 25% or more of receipt from company, okay, or hold more than 2% of voting power. Simple, you are one NPO is there, let's say one NGO is working there for benefit of homeless children, and out of total annual income of this NPO who is working for benefit of homeless children, your company has donated more than 25% of donations. The total donations this NGO received in a year, out of those donations your company has donated more than 25%. You cannot act as independent director in that company. Next and last, the most simplest option is who possess such other qualification as may be prescribed. So central government or any other law can make any other qualification for independent director, which has to be fulfilled by a person who wants to get appointed as independent director. So as I said, the definition is quite lengthy with various limits and confusing. So what we will do, we will try to represent the same definition in a form of chart or table which will make it easier for you. So this is the chart. See, here it is written what person we are talking about. Here it is written the relation. This column is for relation. This column is for extent, and this column is for time. Now see, first point is he himself is a person of integrity, possesses relevant experience. Second point is he himself or his relative both is promoter or related to a promoter of a company, is holding subsidiary associate company. He himself has no pecuniary relationship with the company, its holding subsidiary associate company during 2 immediately preceding financial year. Time limit is same. His relative has no pecuniary relationship with the company amounting to 2% or more of its gross turnover or income 50 lakh rupees, which is a lower, where 2 previous financial year. I think this is more simplest form. You can just skip that definition and you can go through this table again, table right away. You understand that definition, then try to learn and memorize this table. This is way more easier than that. Next, he himself or his relative is KMP or has been employee of the company for 3 previous financial year. Okay, see, remember this, how you have to read this. He himself or his relative is KMP or has been employee of the company for 3 previous financial year or current year also. Is or has been employee or proprietor of these 2 things. Limit is amounting to 10%, that is total income of this consulting firm is more than 10% of this. And time period for previous 3 years. He holds together related 2% or more share capital. No time period is provided here. Is chief executive director of NPO. Which NPO? Which derives more than 25% of capital, 25% of donation. No limit is there, that is only for current year. And last point, who possess such other qualification as may be prescribed. So you can go through this table also. It's easy, that's why I mentioned it here. So go through this table and try to learn this table as it is. It will be easier for you. Now next is this we have done. Tenure of independent directors. Tenure is time period for which a person can act as independent director in the company. So an independent director shall hold office for a term of 5 consecutive years. 5 consecutive years means he can only act as 5 consecutive years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is consecutive series from 2000. Let's say from 2020 to 2025. A person can act as independent director. Independent director shall be eligible for reappointment on passing of SR, special resolution by company, and disclosure of such appointment board report. No independent director shall hold office for more than 2 consecutive terms, but such independent director shall be eligible for reappointment after expiration of 3 years. So how many years an independent director can act as? A person can act as independent director. He can act as 2 consecutive terms, and 1 term can have maximum 5 years. So if you are appointed as independent director for 2 consecutive terms, how many continuous year you can serve as independent director? That will be 2 terms of 5 years each, which will make it 10 years. A person can be appointed as independent director in a company for 10 years, which is made up of 2 terms of 5 years each. Next, an independent director shall not during said period of 3 years be appointed or reappointed associated with company in any other capacity. And again, the cooling period concept is applicable here. When an independent director vacates his office, or when a person vacates his office from position of independent director in a company, the day from which he vacates his office till end of 3 years, the same person should not associate himself with the company in any other capacity. This is cooling period of independent director, and only after that he can again be appointed as independent director. For example, you are appointed in 2020 as independent director. Your 10-year will over at 2030. From 2030, from your date of your retirement till 3 years, that is 2033, you should not associate yourself with in any capacity with this company. Any capacity means employee or KMP or any other director, likewise you should not consider or associate yourself in any other capacity with the company till 2033. After that, that is from 2034 onwards, you can again act as independent director in this company if you're selected. So this period of 3 years in which you cannot associate yourself with the company is known as cooling off period. Cooling off. Okay. Next, retirement by rotation not applicable to independent directors because they are independent. Retirement of rotation is not applicable. Retirement of rotation, you should be aware of the concept retirement rotation. We discussed it. That is, out of total board of directors, 2/3 of directors are liable to retire by rotation, and out of these 2/3, 1/3 should retire by rotation at every AGM of the company. So this concept is not applicable on independent directors. Okay, for example, there are 2 independent directors in your company out of total 15 board of directors. So this limit, while calculating this limit, you cannot take 15, you will take 13, because 2 people are independent director on which rotation is not applicable. You cannot retire them. They will not go before end of their term. Out of these 2 terms, they will not go out, they cannot get retired, they cannot vacate their position before 2 terms or 1 term, let's say. So in this case, this how you will calculate this board of directors. It will not include independent directors, so it will be 13 into multiplied by 2/3 multiplied by 1/3. The provision of retirement of director by rotation shall not be applicable to appointment of independent director. So this is complete, short and quite technical topic, independent director. Try to complete it soon, and next we will go for meetings and auditors. Next topic which we will cover is meeting and auditors. Lengthy chapters they are, so again we will cover them in 2-3 parts or even more than that. Now, so I'll wrap up this session right now, and your directors is over. Directors portion of your course is over with this slide, with this presentation or with this video. This is directors, I think part 4, or independent directors separately. There is nothing more in directors when we talk about your syllabus at graduation level. This is more than sufficient, and we have discussed almost every aspect of directors in company or board of directors in companies. Go through the videos, make your own notes, try to see them or hear, at least you can hear them as soon whenever you find time, so that it will be easy for you to memorize them. So I'll wrap up it now. Stay safe, stay happy, stay active, stay healthy.